Hello, everybody. My name is Oliver G. This is the Earful Tower podcast, a channel that has had 30 million hits. 30 million hits. But we're not celebrating that today, even though it's recent news. Instead, we're talking about the news that everyone's talking about, the Louvre Museum robbery. And I've got a story about it that I don't think you've heard. I've got a couple from America who sent me an email. And the email said, I was in the Apollo room this morning when it was being broken into. My wife and I heard the robbers banging on the window and then ran for the exit when we heard the saws. The email said more, but I'll tell you what I did. I jumped on a bike and went to find them, to interview them. So you're going to hear Jake and Holly Barker telling their very dramatic story from inside the Louvre where this robbery took place. And as far as I can tell, they may have been as close to the scene as anybody else could possibly have been. So, strap in tight. This is a pretty dramatic story, and I'll give you a little bit of context of where we're up to with what we know about the robbery as well. But once again, this is the Earful Tower podcast. Once a week, I'll transport you to the City of Light. I've been doing it for about 8 years. And every time, the real guest of this show is Paris. And this week, we're going to the Louvre Museum. So before we hear more from Jake and Holly, I think a little bit of context. There's no point, I think, speculating about what might have happened. Let's stick with what we know for sure. We know that 3 or 4 thieves in broad daylight at 9:30 in the morning when the Louvre was open broke in through one of the windows into the Apollo gallery and took a handful of jewels. And we know they dropped a crown on the way out. We know that no one was injured. And we know that this is a story that everybody's talking about. So I think to put you truly in the scene, we need to know what this Apollo gallery is. So I'm going to turn to Amber Minogue, who is the Earful Tower's tour guide at the Louvre. I just asked her for some context. I said, tell me, what is this room and what's inside? So let's paint the picture.
Hello, Oliver. So you've asked me, what is the Apollo Gallery? And the Apollo Gallery is this long room in the Louvre. It's just behind the Winged Victory. It's very gold and sumptuous. It was laid out by Louis XIV because, of course, Apollo is the sun god. And it houses some of the jewels from the monarchy, particularly Louis XV. So it's got his crown, it's got the Regent diamond, and then the First Empire, so from Napoleon Bonaparte, and the Second Empire, so from Napoleon III. But there are not actually There's not that much jewellery in there. It's not like the Tower of London. Of course, Britain still has a monarchy. So I've heard that there are 9 pieces stolen, which is actually quite a lot. So the Apollo Gallery is this unmissable, beautiful gallery. And part of its beauty is the ceilings, the paintings, and of course, these beautiful jewels, which have now sadly been stolen.
Thanks for that, Amber. And personally, I love this room. And in fact, I think I've talked about it on the show before because Jake alluded to it in his email to me. And as you're going to hear, it turns out the reason he was in that room in the first place is because of the Earful Tower podcast. I think what we'll do now is jump to the interview. I cycled to meet them in the Marais. So you might hear cars going past. You might hear the chit-chat from restaurants nearby. But an evening interview on the night of the robbery. Here comes Jake and Holly from Indianapolis. So Jake and Holly were standing here in the streets of the Marais. Something big has happened. Can you set the scene for me, Jake?
Yeah, so I want to first start by saying we had only reached the Apollo room because of this show, because of this podcast. I had only asked Holly to visit the Apollo room because I'd heard about it on the podcast.
What did I say about it? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was a tiny Versailles.
Perfect. So you didn't go out there?
No, we had not been to Versailles.
Perfect.
Yeah,
okay.
So I thought, well, if we can't go to Versailles, maybe we can go to the tiny Versailles. So we walked in. Of course, it's beautiful. So we took a photo, right, going right into the doors of the Apollo room.
So the way I picture the break-in was at the far end of the room, and you entered from the other far end of the room. Is that kind of how it worked?
Correct. Yeah. So it's like, for those who don't know, it's a long corridor, right? So we entered from the furthest end.
And first impressions, what do you think of that room?
Oh, it's gorgeous. Holly?
It was absolutely gorgeous, just stunning, and took a picture of the whole thing. So, yeah.
So already it's not a normal day. You're kind of like, this is an amazing morning jaunt in the Louvre.
Yeah, we got there at 9 a.m. We were third in line, did one of the secret entrances, and got right in, did the Mona Lisa, did the French...
The Lady Leading Liberty. Mm-hmm.
Delacroix, good form.
Yep. And then the next on our to-do list was go to the Apollo room.
So you're thinking nothing like this in Indianapolis?
Oh, absolutely not. Nothing's in it.
We were thinking it was a normal day. Like, we were going to go to the Apollo room, and then we were going to do everything else, right? All of the other mains, all the main attractions of the Louvre.
Okay, so paint the picture. You're walking down, this is amazing, then what happens?
Yeah, so I was there are all these beautiful showcases of goblets and chalices and all these jewels. And so I think I took somebody's going to probably on this show ping me on this, but I took a picture of what I'm going to say is a goofy...
You're going to get pinged for saying a goofy crown?
Yeah, no, it was a goofy crown. It was a unicorn mermaid like teapot.
That sounds cool, yeah.
Yeah, so I took a picture. I thought it was kind of silly, and I liked it, so I took a picture of it. But the reason that it struck me was it happened at 9:33, and it was exactly when we heard several bangs on the window of the Apollo room, and nobody knew what it was. It kind of sounded like construction.
Yeah. So I was a little further down than he is. He likes to take...
He's ahead.
No, I'm ahead. He likes to take his time. I'm a see it and go type.
So he's going, Holly, you got to see this goofy unicorn.
I'm further down. And I hear these bangs, and I did not hear like glass shattering, but I heard what was like somebody trying to bust in the door. And I looked down, and it seems like the door at the end of the Apollo room was like a construction door. So my first instinct was, this is construction.
So I'm painting a picture for myself as well here. You're walking towards the end of the room, and it's the door on your the window on your left.
Yes.
It's a balcony door as well, I think.
Yes. Okay. And there were like 3 loud bangs of trying to get in, that I assume. And I mean, just to jump to it, right, then so the attendant. Yeah.
Right. That was startling to hear those 3 loud bangs. But what got us to start running out of the room, which is when everybody started running, and even the information concierge started running, was the saws. We could hear the saws. They're saying chainsaws. They weren't chainsaws. They were probably small, like what we would call in the States, like sawzalls, like concrete.
What do you call them?
Sawzalls, yeah. Sawzalls. But yeah, tile saws.
Okay. So like little not chainsaws, but like
like mini saws to cut tile. And when we heard that, I looked at Holly and I said, "This is something serious. Like we thought it was a terrorist attack."
I'm not surprised to hear that, actually. Yeah.
So when we heard the saws, we both knew that something serious had happened. So that's when and I would say most of the room, there's only probably 20 people in there, started running out of the Apollo room.
The same entrance that you came into?
Correct.
So you ran through. You know how people dream of running through the Louvre, you know?
We did.
Oh, well, we and the concierge and the information team, they were just as confused and scared as we were.
But then what was the saw was... were they already in at that point, or what?
No, they had not broken in. They were banging on the window before they got to the saws. So I don't know if they thought they could break in through sheer force. Yeah. When they couldn't, then the saws came on, and you know a piercing saw sound.
So it was like a bzzz kind of thing. They used that then to get through the window. Is that what you're telling me? Or to get through the door?
So the window is it's a glass or plexiglass window. Not sure. But it has wooden braces throughout. So I'm assuming when they couldn't break through with sheer force, then they had their saws to break through.
So you're figuring someone's trying to get in, maybe an attack, let's get out of here, and everybody else too. So no one hung around which is why no one knew what was essentially taken from, or no one saw anything really because the room emptied out basically.
We did. We actually stayed in the lobby of the, and you might want to edit this part. What is the statue with the wings that's broken?
We don't have to edit this. No one knows what it's called, but it's the Winged Victory of Samothrace.
So a lot of us were hanging out in the Winged Victory statue area because, look, we wanted to explore the Louvre, right? We'd spent our money and we wanted to get our experience and spend time and access that culture. So we stayed in that area, maybe stupidly, like if we thought it was a terrorist attack, maybe we shouldn't have. But all of these security cards then and information concierges ran out of the wing and ran with us down the stairs and out the front courtyard adjacent room of the Louvre, so much so that some of us were trying to get out of the side exits, which were locked. And there was some confusion amongst even the staff as to if they should let us out or not.
This is, you guys, I don't know if it's settled sort of on you yet, but you were there on probably the most historic day since 11 when the Mona Lisa was stolen.
That's what is so bizarre. Like, we keep thinking, like, how did something like this happen in 2025 that, I mean, you go through security, but obviously they came in a different way. So it's just bizarre to think this happened, and who knows how long these guys were, whoever they were, planning this attack. And we just can't get over that this happened on the day, 9:30 in the morning. And
Brazen.
Yeah.
So what about, did you get, did you manage to walk all the way to the end? How far down there did you get?
We got about halfway through that room. And
so you were the last to see. Do you remember what you saw? Do you remember if you saw these Napoleonic?
Crown.
What did the crown look like?
It was, a crown and a emerald necklace.
Okay, maybe you saw the stuff, the reports.
To see that emerald necklace, it was gorgeous. But yeah, then it was just, I just thought, my first instinct was construction. And then when the chainsaws started happening, it was turned from curiosity, what's going on, to panic.
It's a good thing that you ran, I think.
I think so too. And
I didn't want to be seeing these guys.
I don't think so.
You know what the latest, I don't know if you've seen the latest reports on what's happening. Okay, so this of course could change. The latest reports are always a dangerous area to be in really, but they said that they took the Napoleonic jewels, which had the emerald kind of stuff. And one of them, sort of the excuse the pun, but the crown jewel that they took was a crown that had 1,400 diamonds on it. And they dropped it on the way out.
Oh, we did hear that.
So they recovered this, for these highly trained thieves or whatever they are, they screwed up the big one.
Yeah.
But crazy.
We just felt bad because, when we did get back down to the lobby at the very bottom, there were so many people. It was kind of chaotic. Staff there were informing us that something had happened. We were not in any danger, but we were not allowed to leave. And that's when I got a little even more panicked because they told us to go explore other wings. And we did. We went up to another wing, couldn't enjoy ourselves. I just kept thinking in the back of my mind, something is not right. And then, so it was about 10 o'clock that we were going to go to Napoleon Apartments, and somebody told us we're evacuating. We go back down to the lobby area, still not letting us leave. And now there are more people. I speak Spanish, and there was a gentleman from Portugal who spoke Portuguese and Spanish. He was confused, and somebody told him in English, remain calm. So I had to translate for him, which was, I was like, any time to help. But they told us, no, don't leave. And but then finally they opened one of the escalators up to exit. And
did they check your pockets?
We just left.
We ran around the security metal detector. So there were so many people trying to get out that the escalator was smashing everybody into each other.
Jeez.
And they were trying to go through. This is society at its best, right? Like a functioning society will go through the metal detector even when there's an emergency. But some of us are just like, No. So we go, we just ran around, like we're just trying to preserve our lives. So we run around the security entrance, right? But I don't know where I'm going with that, other than to say that like some people are just nice no matter what.
I mean, you could have been
still going through security, but
I'm not saying I suspect you guys at all.
No. We did go around security. That is correct.
The ultimate inside job is walk out.
That's true.
Walk out with it in your pocket. No, I'm kidding, of course. But final thoughts. Last question. Same question for each of you. How does it feel to think now a few hours have passed, that you were in the room when such an unusual and historic thing has happened?
Man, that's it's heavy. It's a heavy question because it is such a significant moment. It's a significant moment for all the people of France, Paris, in particular, who. Can I tell just a quick story? The first place we visited, or the first place we went after we got out of the Louvre, was our hotel. We went back to our hotel, and I asked the concierge if she had heard anything about the Louvre. And can I be real honest?
Yes,
I asked her. I said, "Have you heard anything that's going on at the Louvre?" And she says, "Do you mean the Louvre?"
Oh, really?
and I said, "Okay."
Okay, well, I won't tell you.
Check Twitter, because we've had a memorable day, but no, she was very sweet and very helpful, and she accessed like local news for us, and she read off like all the jewels that had been missing, that had been supposedly taken, and the route that these thieves had taken, and she was struck. She was sort of clutching, her chest, because she was struck by the significance of that cultural event. And I don't want to come on your show and like take it lightly as an American, because I think it has a really big cultural significance. This is a very big cultural significant moment, and I think that to paint it in any other way would be a huge disservice to the French people.
Well said. That's tough for you, Holly, because he said that so well.
So well spoken.
But you can let him do the well-spoken bit if you want. How does it feel?
I'm just still... I was literally in shock for a few hours afterwards, just unsure of how to process it. It just seems like, going from just one extreme of pure... I was in a state of panic at one point when we were in the lobby, and then now kind of going back on it and just thinking and seeing all the news articles and just thinking, I cannot believe that not only were we there, we were in the room, and what a story to share, But and some people might think like, oh, how interesting, but and at the time for us, it was not interesting. It was chaos, as I've said before. But this is I think it's a kind of a sad moment, because these things are priceless, as the news has said, and for someone to go in and take that, I just think it's real shame.
I think I think that's well said. I think the only kind of silver lining, perhaps, and that will help you guys tell the story later, is no one was hurt, no one was killed.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a terrible. But look what happened with Mona Lisa. It got stolen and then returned, and then that made it the most famous piece of art in the world. So there could be a happy ending to the story.
Well, Oliver, this is the best souvenir that I've gotten on this trip. I'm going to be dining on this story for the rest.
I'm going to be dining on your story. But no, I think it's important, and I've had a bit of a jokey tone a little bit here as well. But I think it's important. It's super a heavy thing that happened, but at the same time, a lot more dangerous things have happened in the city in recent years, and it's nice to be able to sort of see a positive spin on this.
Absolutely.
So thanks for sharing your story. I'm really glad you listened to my show and that sent you to that room. I tell you guys, all you listeners out there, you listen to the show, take the tips, and amazing things will happen. But thanks for meeting me as well. I'm going to let you guys go to dinner.
Thank you.
And enjoy the rest of your time in Paris.
Thank you, Oliver.
Thank you.
So there you have it, a super dramatic story. Obviously, follow the news to see the updates on it. Hopefully, like the Mona Lisa, these jewels will be returned, and it's something that we all sort of laugh about. They'll become the most famous jewels in the history of the planet, but a lot of more, realistic or cynical reports have been saying that those jewels will be so easy to break down and sell, and that's probably what will happen. I don't know, who am I to speculate, but let's just follow the story and see what happens. As for me, I'm Oliver G. This is the Earful Tower podcast every week out of Paris. You heard from Amber Minogue, who does Louvre tours. Get in touch, send me an email, contact@theearfultower.com if you're interested in seeing the Louvre with Amber, or go to theearfultower.com/tours and tour Paris with me and my team. We'll show you around, we'll show you a good time. Lastly, this show, as always, is brought to you by the Patreon members, the Substack members, people who are paying members of this channel that keep the cogs spinning. There's loads of bonus podcasts and guides to Paris for the members, so check them out. The links are all below. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back again with another story from Paris next Monday. Merci et au revoir.